Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lauren, and if you're not new, thank you for coming back. Today we're gonna get a little bit spicy. And I just wanted to talk about some products that I'm really glad I didn't buy. And these are all products that I was actually really interested in. Some of them I'm still really interested in, but I'm glad that I haven't pulled the trigger and bought them because of multiple reasons. Each of these products have a different reason attached to them as to why I don't need them, why I shouldn't buy them, and why they would go to waste in my collection. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to just get a little gossipy and talk about them. Now, to preface this, if any of these products are your ride or dies, totally love that for you. I just know that they wouldn't be a good fit in my collection. So yeah, let's talk about them. So the first product that I was thinking of that actually kind of sparked the idea for this video is from Natasha Denona. Now I have almost all of Natasha Denona's palettes. I love them. I love the formula. I love the quality. I use them frequently, so I know that they are amazing. But the Pastel Palette she just launched, not for me. I was so tempted to get this palette, A, because it was Natasha Denona, and B, because it was one of her mid-tier palettes. So this one was retailing for $65 versus some of her bigger palettes, which are even more expensive, over $100. So it was just at that price point, I was tempted. And it's a gorgeous palette. I mean, it's popping up on screen here. It's really pretty. And I was so tempted, but you know what? The main reason why I decided not to buy this is because A, I don't love pastels. Like, I want to love pastels. I don't love pastels. They're just really not my jam. I have a bunch of pastels in my collection and I don't really reach for them. I really do like brighter, more vibrant colors. Those are what I reach for. Every once in a while I'll go for a more muted look, but my pastels are neglected. So putting this in my collection would just be a disservice to the palette. Next, something I was super tempted to get that was huge. Everyone was talking about it when it launched, the KVD Good Apple Foundation. Now, you may have seen my review of the KVD Good Apple concealer. That was the worst concealer that I have ever tried. It was not the concealer for me. So even though I did buy the concealer, I did not buy the foundation and I was tempted. Do you guys remember? It was everywhere. I feel like every single YouTuber, everyone on TikTok, everyone in the world was talking about that foundation. And it was like, you either loved it and it was like, you're gonna just cuddle up with it at night and sleep with it because it's so good, or you hated it and it was garbage. And I just feel like I probably would have fallen into the second category, especially after trying that concealer. Now, I don't really like cream foundations. I really tend to like liquid foundations. That's my jam. That's what I like. So putting a cream foundation in my collection doesn't make sense. Second of all, I don't like heavy foundations, and everyone who reviewed it said it was super heavy. Like, it was full coverage, and I don't really wear full coverage. And third of all, I saw way too many reviews where it was just creasing into everyone's fine lines and aging them up quite a bit. As someone who's in her mid-30s, I don't need help being aged up, okay? Don't put anything in my fine lines. I want to cover those babies. I don't want to accentuate them. So glad I didn't add that to my collection, but I was sorely tempted. Next, a palette that has really great reviews and is so gorgeous and is purple and I love it. But that is Melt Cosmetics She's and Parties. And I've been using quite a few Melt palettes lately that have been phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And this palette just spoke to me so much because it was purple, it was gorgeous, it was purple. And I really do love Melt Cosmetics aesthetic. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's grungy, it's fun. I mean, sometimes they lean a little too much into stoner kid territory, but that's totally fine. I really, like, I'm still tempted to get this palette if it goes on sale because it's that pretty. But I know I don't need it. I have so many great purples in my collection. I have so many great purple palettes in my collection. I don't know if you saw my eyeshadow palette declutter, but I have enough palettes. I don't think this would bring anything super exciting to my collection. Even though I know I would love it, I would get some use out of it, probably I wouldn't get enough use out of it. It just would kind of sit there and it would be there, and I'd think about it every now and again, but I wouldn't use it. So it wouldn't add enough to my collection to make it worth it. Let's talk about a product where the OG of it is the best product I've ever tried. And that is the Bite Beauty Agave Lip Mask, Reformulated edition. Okay, I was so in love with their original Agave lip mask. It was just, the formula of that was so good. And Bite ended up going vegan, so they took out the lanolin in that, and that's when I learned that lanolin really helps my lips. I have the driest lips, okay? It doesn't matter how much water I drink. It doesn't matter what I put in my body, what I put on my lips. They're just dry and they're cracked, and I hate it. It's so annoying. But that original Bite Agave mask, so good, phenomenal. But then they reformulated it, and I was tempted to try it just because I loved the OG so much, and I'm glad I didn't, because I don't think the formula would have been really good. I don't think it would work for me. I really do think it was that lanolin that made the difference, and I think that's probably why Bite Beauty is probably going goodbye. It seems like they are selling everything off and closing shop because, you know, they reformulated stuff, and I know they wanted to go vegan. I know they wanted to do that, which is great, but they had a product that worked so well, that was so well loved, and they didn't really come up with a replacement for it. So there was nothing for people to glob onto, if you will. Like, even for me, I love their lipstick formula, and I just didn't feel the need to go out and try the reformulated version. So glad I never got it. Was tempted to try it just because I liked the OG so much, but glad overall that I did not add that in my collection. Now, if you didn't tell, a lot of these products have been like super hyped up by either other influencers, or like it's huge on TikTok, or, you know, all those sorts of things. They're widely talked about, and a lot of the times I get sucked into that. So when I came to this product, I'm glad I didn't buy into it. And that is the Dyson Supersonic Hairdryer for $429. Mind blown. Now, even in the reviews that I saw of this, it was kind of a mixed bag. Some people said that their hair has never looked better, and other people were like, no, it kind of took the same amount to dry my hair as my normal $20 hairdryer. So it's really, where was the value in that product? And this is the product, again, I was sorely tempted to get. It takes me so long to blow dry my hair. I only wash my hair like once a week, only because it takes so long to blow dry it. And if I don't blow dry it and I sleep on it wet, because I'm a night shower, it gets frizzy, it gets out of control. It's just, it's so weird. I have to blow dry it to really be able to do anything with it. So that hairdryer was supposed to be magic. And you know, even now when it goes on sale, every once in a while you get that 20% off coupon from Ulta. I'm like, is it worth it? And I still come back to say, no, I don't think it's worth it. Even on sale for that price point, that better turn my hair into gold, or else is it really worth it? I don't know. My $30 hairdryer kind of does the trick. It takes a long time. It does take a long time, and I'm even using product in my hair, but you know, it does the trick. It's worth it. It's fine. And next is a product I want to talk about that literally it's just the hype, and this is a few years back, but I'm glad I didn't buy into the hype for this because this is not the product for me. And this is the Kylie Jenner lip kits. I know everyone loved them. There's still people today that talk about how they have certain colors that are always going to be in their collection because they love them so much. Now, liquid lipstick is not my favorite, first of all, because a lot of formulas tend to be really drying, and it kind of seems like that's the case with Kylie Jenner's. It seems like a lot of their formulas are very drying, at least from what I've seen in reviews. Now, I can't speak from personal experience because I never ended up buying this product, and again, I'm glad I never did. It would have gone to waste in my collection. I would have probably tried it out once and been like, meh, not really my favorite, but I'll keep it around, and then never used it again. So it just would have been a waste of money and a waste of time. So I'm glad I never got it. Another product that is super widely loved and talked about is the Fenty Diamond Balm. And again, like, very tempted to get this product, but there are some fat glitter chunks in that product, right? Is it just me? It looks like it's pretty glitter heavy. And I know that I personally don't love highlighters that have those big chunky glitters in them. It tends to get all over your face. It's kind of a mess. But again, I was tempted to because the hype. Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was talking about how much they love the product. Even today, there were a couple people on YouTube that I watch where they talk about how much they love that Fenty Diamond Bomb. And every once in a while, they'll come out with a special release for the holidays where there'll be like a mini Fenty Diamond Bomb. And they almost get me every single year because I'm like, oh, love the minis, love the minis. I'm gonna have to show off my mini collection. I have a lot of minis, but I'm glad I never got it. Again, it would be a product that wouldn't add enough value to my collection to make it worth it. And it would be a product that I probably would use once and not reach forever again because it's chunky glitter. If you do have that product and I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments below because I'm curious. I'm still not gonna get it. I'm saying it now, I'm not gonna get it, but you know, it's a little bit tempting. Next we have a skincare product, and this is another one that blew up on TikTok and everyone talked about how great it was and how it sucks the oils out of your pores. And this is the Corselette Vino Perfect Mask. And it's, you know, there were so many videos of people using it and they're like, oh, you can see my pores, you can see the oil coming out of my pores. And I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's actually what's happening or if it's just drying out your face. And like, I have a pretty dry face. I do have pores because I am a human being, but I don't feel the need to suck all the oil out of my face. I just have a really dry face. So sucking the oils that are in there out is probably a bad idea. But I had this product in my Sephora cart at one point because I'm like, everyone loves it. Anything I can do to improve my skin, I will do. It sounds like this is gonna be one of those products that's just gonna be magical. And I don't think it's for me. I think it's a product that I would use maybe once or twice and then forget that I had it because it wouldn't make a difference in my skincare regime. So thought about it. Every once in a while I still think about it, and the price point's not bad. It's only $39. Can't really complain about that. But overall, glad I didn't get it. Next we have more eyeshadow palettes, and those are the Patrick Ta Extra Dimension eyeshadow palettes. I believe they're called Extra Dimension. And these palettes, I got kind of like a mixed bag of reviews, but overall seem like people really like the formula. And I feel like Patrick Ta is one of those brands that just overall gets a lot of mixed reviews. Like, some people either love him or hate him. I have a couple products from him, and I do like his blushes quite a bit. And then there are other things that I've tried from him that I will be mentioning in other videos that I don't like. So mixed bag with him as a brand. Some of the reviews I saw, I seriously was thinking about getting this. And I think at one point during the last Sephora VIP sale, I had one of his palettes in my bag because I was like, oh, well, I can get the 20% off. So that kind of makes it worth it. Now for $68, these palettes are not the most expensive palettes. Natasha Denona's, their larger palettes are more expensive. Pat McGrath, their palettes are more expensive. So for $68, you're still leaning on the more expensive side, but it's not the most expensive. I mean, if that gives you a little bit of comfort, but it was still too expensive for me to justify buying these palettes because one of them is neutral and one of them is like pinky neutral, pinky mauve neutral. And I just knew that I have so many great neutrals, so many great pinky mauve colors in my collection that I would get these, and again, I would probably use them a handful of times and then just forget they were in my collection. It doesn't seem like they really brought anything new and exciting that I don't already own. But as I said before, these were in my cart, these were heavily considered, and you know, every now and again I still kind of think about them. But I am glad I didn't get them. I still, even if they go on sale, I don't think I'll pick them up. If they went on sale for 50% off, I would consider getting the nude one because I do like a good nude palette, even though I have them. But no, I don't need it. I just don't need it. It's pretty. I do like the aesthetic of Patrick Ta. Packaging is really pretty, but I don't need it, so I'm not gonna get it. Last but not least, this one was last because I wasn't sure if I wanted to put it on this list because I really want it. And they recently had a sale where it was 30% off, and this is another product I put in my cart. I was like, I'm gonna get it, and I thought about it, and I said, no, I'm not gonna get it. And this is the Pat McGrath Labs Utopian Dream Mothership Palette, and at a whopping $128, this palette is the most expensive on the list, so it's a winner in that regard. And you know what? absolutely gorgeous. This palette, I saw it and I was like, I really want it. It's so pretty. But please, no one hate me for this. I don't know if Pat McGrath's Mothership palettes are worth that price. Don't come for me, please. I have a couple of her palettes that I absolutely love. I have a 6-pan of hers that I got for sale for like $34. That is absolutely phenomenal. Bronze, beautiful, love it. But for $128, I just don't think that I can justify 8 pans of eyeshadow unless it was the only palette that I had, which again, if you saw my eyeshadow palette declutter, you'll know I have quite a few palettes. Do I think this palette would have brought something special to my collection? I kind of go back and forth on that. That's why it's the last on the list. And they do have that one special shade in there that just looks absolutely gorgeous. But can that justify the price tag? I just don't think it does. I just don't know if her palettes are really worth $128. There are a lot of people out there that will say, yeah, they're 100% worth that. And then there's probably an equal amount of people that are like, just wait for it to go on sale. Now, when it went on sale over Memorial Weekend, I think it was about $86. Still, that is almost $100, and that just... I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't pull the trigger. I don't think I need to add that one into my collection either. So those are the 10 products that I thought about and I really wanted at some point, but I'm glad that I have not purchased. I think all these are still available, so they're still out there. They're still tempting me in some ways, but I will not be buying them. I will not be adding them to cart. So I just thought it would be fun to get a little bit chatty in this video. I would love to hear your opinions on these products. If you've tried them, if you love them, let me know. I would love to hear your opinions. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you have any products that you were so tempted by, but overall you're glad you didn't buy. I'd love to hear it. Okay, I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.